Alright, first and foremost, we'd like to give our praises to Yahawah, Yahawashi. Like to give double honors to our elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. Like to say salutations and love to the elect that's across the four corners of the world. Through the Spirit of the Lord, we're here to do another lesson, man. Lord will. You know, the Spirit guide us. We're going to start it off with an article.
Alright, it's on beforeisnews.com, and the title is Crashing Oil Prices and a Conspiracy to Free Us from Debt Slavery. It says, with cheap gasoline at the pump and increased interest rates, you would think we were just recovering from a bad financial hangover. But something much sinister is at place. Don't worry though, there is a happy ending. A revolution is happening before our eyes.
Right, if I can say this, it's gonna be a happy ending for the elect, man. Because this basically a cracker thinking all this gonna free like the US basically the US citizens from the debt slavery they into the elites, man. But it's not. It's only gonna bring civil unrest, which is gonna bring martial law, which is leading into basically the end game gonna be the missiles, gonna be the end result, man. So it ain't gonna be no basically no good ending to this story for the 2/3 of our people, man. Up for you fucking crackers, man. You Edomites or you other nations, man.
Right. Oversupply is not the reason that oil is dropping in price faster than Exxon Corporation can say, uh-oh. Canadian oil is dropping even lower, in some cases to $8 a barrel. Russia is not suffering from these falling oil prices either.
Right, so if you like going to certain news, they'll be trying to make it look like Russia's suffering from this, man. Which is a fucking lie, man. Go ahead, huh?
Alright, Russia is not suffering from these falling oil prices either, as the mainstream press will convey. Similarly, despite the recent Fed hike in the U.S. interest rate, which is the first in more than a decade, it does not herald an economic turning point, at least not for the debt slavery system that is currently in place, but that is crumbling. The magic money system of debt and quantitative easing based on the petrodollar is on its knees. This was an act of desperation. Falling oil prices are not driving Moscow to expand its austerity program in an attempt to balance an expected deficit of $38.6 billion in 2016.
Right, man, because Russia basically knew the U.S. Was gonna try to do this, man, because they broke the USSR up back in the 80s during that Cold War period with the same method, man. They flooded the oil. They basically flooded the market with cheap oil, man, because now coming up during that time, gas was like 85 cents, 85, 95 cents, 79 cents for regular, 89 for plus, and like 99 cents for premium, man, which they used that method back in the day to basically break Russia, man. Go ahead.
You can be sure President Vladimir Putin was at least 3 chess moves ahead of tumbling oil prices. Marek Dabrowski, co-founder of the Center for Social and Economic Research in Warsaw and a professor at Moscow's Higher School of Economics, recently ran the numbers on the oil exporting economies and discovered a paradox. Russia is not even close to being the most oil dependent of these countries. It gets even more interesting though. China has announced that the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank is up and running as promised late last year.
Right, man. So this is what this is all about, man, which they trying to keep on the low. Go ahead, huh?
Alright. Members of the bank include China, Russia, Denmark, Egypt, Iran, Italy, Poland, Sweden, Switzerland, Sri Lanka, the Philippines, Kuwait, and others. Notably absent is the United States of America.
Right, man. So, China got their new bank up and running, which it don't include America, man. Go ahead.
Moreover, the BRICS bank headed by Russia is also moving forward. A recent Forbes article titled, "With Russia officials said the head BRICS bank will dollars get this," invokes an underlying theme of the silent revolution happening under our noses.
You want to say something?
Yeah, if I can just add, and that's the reason why America is still strong now, because based on the synopsis of the petrodollar and its military.
Right.
And right now, at this time, Putin, he's the biggest threat because what he's trying to do is he's trying to move away from the petrodollar.
Right.
That's the whole game plan. Because if you do the little history on the petrodollar, I want to say in 1973, Nixon made an agreement with Saudi Arabia that basically for protection and guns, that, you know what I'm saying, he will protect them. However, their oil had to be bought with the American dollar and shit.
Come.
You know?
Come. And if I can say this, it's not only Russia, it's like the China Infrastructure Bank, then all those countries who actually are part of it, all of them are basically plotting to bring that petrodollar down, like the brother was saying. So it's all these nations in cohesion, even Saudi Arabia, and man, because China basically they trying to restore something called the Silk Road, which we had went into last week, which China basically investing in different countries like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, to where China basically showing them, look, y'all ain't got to have the Western powers have the influence over y'all no more. We basically can deal amongst each other and block America out, man. And that way, y'all ain't got to answer to these motherfuckers no more, man. And that's what's going on. Go ahead.
All right. The Swiss National Bank decoupled from the euro. Former Assistant Treasury, we just adding tidbits. I'm jump down to the article. All right, too many. It is old news that the U.S. corporate government is bankrupt. The new news is how they are being taken down systematically by the white hats and other benevolent interests within our world organizations that are tired of being pushed around by criminals using the petrodollars and fiat money. These signs tell of a larger picture. Secret bank bailouts are soon to be a thing of the past. So are bank bail-ins. Industry corruption such as the FIFA bribe, which was funneled by HSBC in Hong Kong, came from a U.S. bank fined for a link to Colombia drug cartel, will continue to be exposed, and huge fines will be paid. In other cases, bankers representing the cabal will be fired or put in jail. At the end of 2015, the CEO of Brazil's largest investment bank was arrested. This was accompanied by a huge layoff at major banks across the U.S. Regions Bank has announced 260 layoffs for 2016. Bank of America, Citibank, and other cabal fronts will also lay off thousands of people this year.
Right, man. So what these countries been doing, they basically been going in there finding them insiders who the elites done put in there, and they basically been expelling them and getting them out of there, man. You know? Go ahead.
As part of a crackdown on corruption, China has also uncovered the largest underground bank in the country. Over 370 individuals involved in the scheme have been arrested, according to the People's Daily, for handling 400 billion yuan in legal foreign exchange transactions.
Got a precept on Ezekiel 28:4. Without wisdom and without understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Right, man, and it's basically going into the elites, man, because they the ones basically collecting all the gold and the silver, man, which is the real money, man. You know, which they using. America is their main tool they use to get all this, man. You know, because going back to what the brother said with the petrodollar deal, the deal they had before that, where they basically tricked everybody out their gold, man. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, your whole economic system, man, is basically the real reason why, you know, you're in power. That's part of that, because the main objective is basically, you know, once this thing goes down, to take America down. Once you take America down, then you can expand your new world order. You know,
America's the forefront. You know.
Yeah, America is the forefront, man.
Come on, you got that in Habakkuk?
Yeah. Let me start talking. It's Habakkuk 2. I was standing upon my watch and set me upon the towers, and I will watch to see what he would say unto me.
And right now, basically, that's what beginning with Apostle Tahar, so forth down. That's what we're doing, man. We're being watchmen, and how we're watching. But at this present moment, we're letting you know what's going on with the current events. Going on.
And what I should answer, and I am approved. And the Most High answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the tables.
And the scriptures is that vision, man, that was written on those tables. At first it was in scroll format, later became compact in the Bible.
That he may run that read it. But the vision is yet for an appointed time.
Yeah, because why is it at a point in time? Because prophecies has to be fulfilled before Yahawah makes his move.
But at the end it shall speak and not lie.
And what does that mean? That everything that's manifested in these prophecies are gonna manifest. It's gonna happen. Although it's tarrying. Why? Because it's certain prophecies has to be fulfilled.
Though it tarry, wait for it.
Yeah, wait for it. And why are you gonna wait? That's dealing with the gift of Yahawah giving your faith. You know, and which is gonna require patience.
Because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Mm-hmm. You wanna continue?
Yeah.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Yeah. So ever since Esau came into the world, man, even when he had his complexion as Cain, he was always that wicked one.
But the just shall live by his faith.
And the just is the elect, because only the elect is going to live by faith. And that's a gift given by Yahawah.
Yet ye also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man.
And that's his different philosophies, man. He promotes this bullshit ass Christianity, democracy, so on and so forth, man. You know, that's how he mingles the minds of the other nations, man. Now you got other nations wearing suit and ties. You got other nations celebrating his holidays. You have other nations just trying to live that lifestyle of the so-called white man, which is Edom, according to the Bible.
He enlarged his desire as hell, and it's like in it as death, and cannot be satisfied.
Yeah, because the more this man gets, you know, that doesn't quench his thirst, man. His motive is basically control of the entire earth, man. And at the end of the day, to have everybody chipped, man, that would be total control.
But gather unto him all the nation, and yeet upon him.
And that's why he has these embassies in all these countries, man.
All the people. Should not all these take up a parable against him?
And that's what the brother is saying. Well, began with Putin. That's what he's trying to do, man. Putin, one of Putin's objective is basically to destroy the petrodollar, to assassinate the Illuminati, because basically he's not with their agenda at this time frame.
And a ton proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his.
Yeah, because everything this white man has attained, man, is stolen, man, from his so-called heritage, from his so-called wealth. Everything is basically stolen.
And look how they got a miracle.
Exactly.
How long? And to him that laded himself with thick clay.
Yeah, and that thick clay is going into the debt. Right now, of course, I want to say America's 18 trillion in debt. So that's what they're saying. But when Obama stepped in office, it was like 10.8. So they saying within a decade it's gonna go to probably 30 trillion. But what's promoting this debt, man? Because of careless spending and the quantitative easing, man. The more dollars you put out, the weaker the dollars that's out are going to become.
Got a quick article links or something like that.
Okay.
This is on beforeisnews.com, and the title is FEMA camps are open, guillotines are in place, ISIS executioners await your arrival. And I'm jump down and says, FEMA camp preparations are ready. Plenty of cheap labor FEMA camp workers have been imported into the country. The guillotines are in place. Connect the dots. What is coming? And it said, don't lose your head. When retired FBI agent, the now deceased Ted Gunderson, reportedly told a gathering of militia members that the federal government had set up 1,000 internment camps across the country. I had no trouble believing his statement because there is ample documentation to support his statement. Example, Rex 84, Operation Garden Plot, and now the NDA 8. However, when Gunderson reported that the federal government was storing over 500,000 caskets outside of Atlanta, I also knew he was accurate on this point because Sherry Wilcox found the evidence of the adjacent photo. However, when I heard that Gunderson was accusing the government of storing 30,000 guillotines, I thought he had lost his mind. Why would the government want to store guillotines? Gunderson told various patriot groups that the guillotines were being stored for the day that the government declares martial law and moves into round up and execute American dissenters. Get the second
Right.
16.
Right, because if I can say this, even though it's the elite's plan to bring down America, you still got the, like the scripture said, that on all these other nations, they basically gonna take up a parable against them, man. You know, so what they doing is basically spoiling the elite's plan, man. Cause like the Lord said, once he feel like he got his new world order complete, the Lord gonna put straights in the way, man. What you doing, man? Because all these nations that's like with the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, all these different nations that's plotting. That they was at one time they was actually the elites had them, man. But then after they started to peak, like just going back to the scriptures in Habakkuk where it said should not they take up a parable against him. When these nations started to peak, that the plots of the elites. So then they started to develop their own banks and stuff, which what's going on there, man.
Yeah, and if I could just add to what the brother's saying about that article right there too, man. You know, the people that's going to the guillotine is the people that also, just to build on, that the people that won't reform, man. The elect, and you're gonna have some Edomites that's not gonna be down with that system too. And so, of course, that's why you have the movie called like the Divergent. And if you go into that root word, it means to be a part, man, because they're not a part of what the elite wants them to become, man, and that's total control.
Got a little bit more. He says, can somebody please explain to me why the government would need to order 30,000 guillotines? For what legitimate purpose could these tools of execution be utilized?
And that's why you got the red list, the yellow list, and the blue list.
It says, guillotine has never been used inside the U.S. The U.S. has executed people by firing squad, hanging, the electric chair, and lethal injection. The U.S. has never executed a convicted criminal through the use of the guillotine.
And the reason why the guillotine is going to be established, because then, therefore, you cut the head off, you can do the organ harvest, man. You won't destroy the whole body, per se, if you put a person in an electric chair or in front of a firing squad.
Right. And it said, has anyone bothered to do the math? A single guillotine reportedly can chop off the heads of about 100 people per hour. In 1 hour, the federal government has the capacity to execute as many as 3 million people. In 1 10-hour day, 30 million people could be executed by way of the guillotine.
God damn. Got precept, Revelations 20:4. And this is going to the elect. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahawashi. The witness is a testimony. And for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahawashi 1,000 years.
So if you want to say that?
Now this basically saying some of the witnesses that's basically the elect. You know what I'm saying? Because you have some of them get carried away in concentration camps.
Okay.
Some gonna be carried in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? Not all the elect gonna be in a concentration camp.
That's right.
And
Right, and if I can add to that, like the brother bring out the article on the guillotine, then you got the scripture right here linking right up with that where it said these are the souls who was beheaded for their testimony, man. So the main people they gonna want to take to them guillotine are the men of the Lord, man. You know.